Hey, what's up y'all? It's Napo H Barista. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Marzocco Linea Mini. Today I'm going to be answering one of the questions I literally get all the time. Is the Linea Mini suitable for serving 100+ people? Or is the Linea Mini good for business? We've been working with the Linea Mini since 2017, and like some of you, we were looking for an espresso machine that could plug into a regular wall outlet, light enough and easy to travel with, as well as powerful enough to keep up with demand. Now the answer to the question is, it totally depends on how frequently your customers are coming in. The Linea Mini is an extremely powerful espresso machine, but it does has its limits. Before buying a machine, I suggest you ask yourself the following questions. Are you aiming to serve for low demand events or high demand events? How are you going to transport your espresso machine? Think about things like water or power for your machine. And lastly, what are your plans for the future? Is this a machine you can use on the day you open up a shop? Or is it a machine that once you finish your pop-up business, you can set up at home? And in the future, if you open up a shop, you're going to reinvest in a new machine. These are the questions that we ask ourselves, and for us, buying the Linea Mini was the smartest choice. It was powerful, it was able to keep up with demand, it's small, it fits in the case. You guys seen my video converting an SKB case for the espresso machine and transporting our machine that way. We have a 4-door sedan. We were moving our machine with literally no hassle. And our whole setup pretty much runs on a 20 amp wall outlet, and we have no issues. After working with the Linea Mini for a couple of years now, I can confidently say that the Linea Mini could handle long lines, but it works best for smaller events. We push our Linea Mini literally to its limit every Sunday, and as a result, I've mastered working around its limitations. Now I have a list of tips that I want to share with you guys, especially those of you that already own this machine and are in business. But before I share those, I just want to list a few reasons why I don't think the Linea Mini is suitable for those people looking to start a pop-up business for high demand. Reasons number one, it's not designed for high demand. It simply isn't. It's an espresso machine that was built for home use, maybe small gigs here and there, 20 people, 50 people max. Once you start doing bigger gigs than that, you're going to start experiencing the limitations of the Marzocco Mini. It's just best for small events and home use. Reason number two, steam pressure. Now this is probably the biggest thing for me because we were serving a drink that became popular in the specialty coffee scene. It's the lavender latte, and a few people tasted this drink and it kind of spread like wildfire. Everybody came downstairs wanting a lavender latte. We served 12-ounce lattes. People were online ordering 2, 3. Some people had a family of 4 or 6 and they were just asking for 6 lavender lattes. And I'm like, okay, by the time I'm steaming the 4th or 5th latte, I already have to let my machine build up pressure again, because as I'm steaming the milk, it's taking twice as long, as far as 3 times as long. And now I'm like, okay, mind you, it's not easy to push this machine to that point. Like, you have to be fast, you have to be getting slammed for this to happen. You're not gonna experience this when one person trickles in and asks for a latte. I literally had cups next to me, like lined up, and just people to the right waiting. That was the experience every Sunday for us. So it was very, very intense. I was moving fast as I can actually, and yeah, that's when you will experience a steam pressure drop when you're steaming milk. Reason number 3, no programmable volumetric buttons. Volumetric buttons are really useful when you're very, very busy behind bar. It helps to know that you're not going to waste a shot when you're prepping in other areas for the next drink or for the same drink. Reason number 4, the Linea Mini has a 1-second pre-infusion. And that's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing because it could be unforgiving for beginner baristas. Alright, you're going to need some level of understanding of espresso and extraction to run this machine, especially if you don't have a really good espresso grinder. The Linea Mini has 1 second pre-infusion and then 9 bar pressure throughout the shot. It gets a lot easier when you have a grinder that's able to give you consistent grind as well as a consistent dose. If you have a grinder that is not consistent, when you're making 3, 4, 5 drinks at a time, you're going to see your dose vary as well as your extraction time vary. Well, these are just things that you have to look out for when running a pop-up. And I feel that the grinder is not equally as important as the espresso machine, but more important, and it's going to take a great load off your shoulders. It's just how you're going to get the best flavors. Pleasurable nuances in the espresso, creamy texture, body, all that stuff. It hits a whole other level when you pair it with a really great grinder. Nonetheless, the Linea Mini is awesome. And once you get the hang of working with the Linea Mini, you're going to be pouring drinks like a pro in no time. Alright guys, so here's a list of how to work around the Linea Mini's limitations. But one thing I suggest, expand your menu. This is not only going to make your business more profitable, but it's going to actually help you out. Offer anything that doesn't require steaming. We're talking about teas, we're talking about regular coffee. Offer iced drinks. I know now you got to walk around with ice and maybe have an ice maker or something like that, but it really helps because first of all, not everybody is an espresso drinker, and people that want regular coffee are gonna taste an Americano and they're gonna be like, this is not regular coffee, and they may not return after that. So I suggest serving regular coffee. You could be working the espresso machine and other people are coming in, right, and then they're saying, I want a tea, I want a coffee. Your partner or yourself just turn around and serve a coffee right away. Like, they don't have to wait online. And it's not only about people waiting online, but it's putting less strain on your machine. So expand your menu. Do not use the hot water of the machine. When you use the hot water for the machine, you're going to experience a steam pressure drop. Don't use it for Americanos. Don't use it for teas. Don't use it to clean your portafilter. Do not use it unless you really have to. Don't use it to warm up ceramic cups, especially when you're running off the reservoir and you're not plugged in. You're gonna want to save every single drop of water for espresso extraction and steaming milk. Have a secondary water boiler for Americanos and teas and things and chocolates and whatever oatmeals, things you want to serve. Have that separate. Okay guys, the last tip for working around the Linea Mini's limitations is do not oversteam your milk. I think you guys get the gist here. Water is important. Don't use the hot water spigot. Plumb in your machine because you don't want to run out of water, and then it all ties in together. Steam. Try not to oversteam your milk. Get it to where it's warm to touch. Stop. Remember that temperature continues to rise afterward. Plus, you don't want to burn the milk. You're gonna lose a lot of sweetness that way. When you have 4 or 5 lattes at one shot and they're 12 ounces, and you know, it's a lot for the machine to continue to put out. You don't have a dual boiler, big standard Linea PB or a 3-group Strata. You don't have that. You have a single group espresso machine that was technically built for home use. At the end, you're going to be frustrated when you have to wait around for your machine to build up pressure. And by the way, it does not take long at all. I feel kind of bad saying these things because I do business with the Linea Mini and I have done high demand events, and it's kind of like, hey, why are you saying that when you're using it? I use it because it's what I have available to me. But if I was starting over and my intention is to do corporate events, car shows, or anything like that, and there's going to be a lot of people outside, I'm going to try to go for either a used 2-group espresso machine, or if I can afford it, a brand new 2-group espresso machine. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I hope you found this information helpful. If you have any questions, just ask them below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you wish to see more of these videos. Thank you again for all your support. Alright, that's enough. Peace.